Hi, welcome to Pennsyltucky Barbecue. In this segment, we're going to be smoking a pork butt for pulled pork sandwiches. If you've ever had a tough, dry pulled pork sandwich, you came to the right place today because we got a couple of tips and tricks that's going to help you get a very moist and flavorful pulled pork sandwich. So we're going to get started. The only thing we're doing today is we're going to marinate this pork butt in Dr. Pepper overnight. And that's going to give it some sweetness and some flavor, and so we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll be back in the morning. But what I like to do is just make some knife imprints in it so that that Dr. Pepper can get down inside it. So I just make a few here and there, and then we just go ahead and put it in our pot and cover it with Dr. Pepper. Very easy. Now tomorrow when we're smoking, we're going to be smoking this at 225, and this is about a 7-pound pork roast. So it's going to take about an hour per pound to smoke it. So we're pretty much looking at an all-day event tomorrow. Okay, and it's as simple as that for tonight. We're going to put this in the refrigerator, refrigerate it overnight, marinate it in the Dr. Pepper. We'll see you in the morning. Okay, welcome back. It's the next morning. We're going to get ready to smoke this. As you can see, I've taken it out of the Dr. Pepper, and I didn't rinse it off or anything. I just kind of patted it dry because we wanted to keep as much Dr. Pepper on there as possible. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and add our rub, and I'm going to use some just regular mustard as a binder. And so we're going to go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to just rub it on there, get it down in all the nooks and crannies. That'll help hold our rub in place. You can use olive oil as well. We're just coming up with something to keep the rub on the meat, to keep it sticking. We're going to flip it over, do the bottom first. You see I have some fat there, but I didn't trim any of that. That's going to be rendered down as we smoke it. Today I'm going to be using my pellet grill. I'm going to be smoking with a combination of pecan and cherry pellets. It's going to be about 3 parts pecan to 1 part cherry. As you're adding your rub here, make sure you get the sides. Like I said, this is the bottom. Then we're going to flip it over, and then it'll be ready to put on the smoker to do the top last. Don't be afraid to put some of this rub on there. That's where you're going to get a lot of your flavor. Today I'm going to be smoking at a temperature of 225. And as I said yesterday, it's going to take about an hour per pound till this is done. So what we're going to do today is smoke at 225, and we're going to go for an internal temperature of about 160 degrees, and then we're going to take this off and wrap it in foil, put it back on, because at that point we're done with smoke at about 160, and then we're just looking for heat the rest of the time. And then we're going to leave it on until it reaches a temperature of 205. Some people just go to 195. I like to take it a little more, so we're going to be looking for a temperature of 205. And so today, that's what we're looking at. We're going to go ahead and let this sit at room temperature, and then we're going to get our smoker ready, and when the smoker's ready, we'll be back. Okay, our smoker's ready. So we're going to go ahead and just put this on, and we're going to leave it go until about 160 internal temperature. It's going to probably be 3 or 4 hours. So we're just going to go ahead and lay it on there. I'm going to stick a meat probe in it then, and when we get to 160, we'll be back. Okay, we're back. As you can see, we've already surpassed 160. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this now. So we're just going to lift it off and wrap it. tight as you can. That's going to go right back on the smoker, and we'll be back when we get to at least 195. Okay, we're back. As you can see, we're setting at 204, so we're going to go ahead and pull this. After we get it pulled, we're going to take it inside. We're going to let it rest for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I'm going to pull it off here. Okay, our rest time's over. So we're back and we're ready to pull this thing. But you can see the good color that it has there. The bark, the dark bark, and I also just saved a little bit of the broth just to add back in. But actually I think it's going to be moist enough. I don't think we're even going to have to put that in. So right now all you do is get in there and pull it out. I like to just wear a pair of cotton gloves with some vinyl gloves over it. And we're going to just start to do that. But you can see that bone pulls right out of there. This is going to be real tender. Okay, we got this thing pulled, and you can see we have about a pan full. You can see the color from the cherry and the dark bark. So it's really moist now, but we're going to go ahead and just add a little bit of this broth just to give it a little more moistness. Now I'm just going to add just a little bit more of the rub, just to give it a little more flavor. And then I'm going to just mix that up. Okay, so let's review what we did here today. We took a piece of pork, a pork shoulder, last night, and we marinated it in Dr. Pepper overnight. This morning we got it out and just patted it dry. And then we added some mustard to it as a binder, and then we put on our favorite pork rub. So then we went out and got our smoker ready. I was smoking today on my pellet grill, using a combination of pecan and cherry pellets, about 75% pecan and 25% cherry. And we were smoking at a temperature of 225. So we put our roast on there, and it was on there for about 4 hours, almost 5 hours actually, until it came up to an internal temperature of 160 degrees. At that point we pulled it off, we double and triple wrapped it in foil and put it back onto the smoker. And we left it on the smoker until we get up to an internal temperature of 205. Now, like I said, you can go to just 195, but I like to take it to 205. And that took an additional 3 to 3.5 hours. So then, at that point, we brought it inside and we left it rest for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then at that point, we opened it up and reserved some of the broth that was in there. And then we began to pull it, and after we got it pulled, we added some of the broth back in and then added a little bit more of our pork rub to it to just give it some extra flavor. And then we mixed it up, and this is the end result right here. This is going to make some great sandwiches. We like to put it on a Kaiser roll, add our favorite barbecue sauce to it. Also, we like to make other things with it too. In fact, you have to come back and check some of our videos. We're going to do a smoked pizza with pulled pork on it, this exact same pulled pork, and we're going to do some appetizers as well. So you make sure you check back often. Check out our Facebook page, Pennsyltucky Barbecue. Like us there, share us with your friends, subscribe to this YouTube channel, Pennsyltucky Barbecue. That's where all the videos are going to be. So until next time, remember, God loves you and has a plan for your life. We'll see you then.